Can a realistic PC fishing simulator actually be fun to play? Can a game like Russian Fishing 4 exist with no vodka, no polar bears, and no dynamite? We're going to jump in and find out. One day I was randomly scrolling through Twitch categories looking for something to play in the background while I was working. I came across the title Russian Fishing 4 with somewhere around 800 viewers. I was intrigued. Looking through the available streamers, I saw that an English-speaking streamer was a bit hard to come by, and none of these were American. What had the rest of the world discovered that I hadn't? I had to find out. I headed over to the Steam store where I found what I consider to be one of the most relaxing, free-to-play experiences ever. Russian Fishing 4 is in the most literal sense a realistic fishing simulator. There are no flashy scenes of underwater fish fighting as you reel them in, bites are not guaranteed, and there are no instant replays. This is not an arcade game, this is definitely a simulator. More time is spent adjusting bait depth, setting friction points and reel speeds, and working up combo multipliers. This game supports a huge variety of equipment, several locations, a personal skill tree system, and over 80 species of fish to find and catch. You can dig for bait, create handcrafted lures, cook food, even drink beer. Catching fish requires the right equipment, location, weather, skill, and a bit of luck. When starting my first game, I was greeted by a serene pond and a fairly easy to follow tutorial. I'm no master angler, simulated or otherwise, so this was greatly appreciated. Little did I know that the hand-holding would be ditched all too soon and I was going to find myself in the deep end. Several things such as binding gear to quick keys, using multiple rods, or digging for bait were never covered. I wasn't even aware that I could sprint or that I had a flashlight handy when night came. Browsing through the tackle shop was overwhelming. I was greeted by hundreds of items ranging from different types of rods, reels, lures, baits, and food. It was a smorgasbord of options and I had no idea what to do with any of it. After finally finding gear that I felt might be appropriate for me, I looked at my wallet. There was no way I could afford any of this stuff, even after selling my meager catches. I felt that it would be a long time before I could. Most options were also locked out due to skill requirements that I wouldn't be able to meet for several levels. I was only level 5 and growing slowly. Once again, Russian Fishing did not fail to impress me. I was playing the game on my Twitch stream, and a friendly angler took the time to straighten me out. Not only was this viewer extremely helpful in guiding me through some of the finer points of the game, but they also were generous enough to provide me with some additional gear. Next stream, another viewer provided further support and even more gear. I was astounded by the generosity and welcoming nature of this community. I'm also highly impressed with the quality and polish of this game. Despite being free to play and being in early access, the graphics are gorgeous, the gameplay is smooth, I haven't yet encountered a bug, and there are no constant notifications about in-app purchases or promotions. So let's review some of the things that make Russian Fishing 4 easy to love. After about an hour of playing this game, I found myself leaned back in my chair humming softly to myself. There was no pressure and no immediate demands. Not only does this game simulate the complexities of fishing, it also simulates the calming zen that's found sitting by a lake. A deep skill tree allows you to further customize your experience. There are talents for float fishing, spin fishing, bottom fishing, crafting lures, cooking, even digging for bait. Free to play doesn't seem to hard lock anything out for the most part. Almost all gear is available via the in-game currency, and I've yet to even want to look at the store. The community seems small, but is extremely welcoming. Everywhere I've looked, I've found people willing to share their vast knowledge and resources. Somehow the game makes a similar action of throwing out a line and reeling it back in feel different depending on the gear you're using. The gorgeous graphics and lack of bugs complement a complex and deep gameplay system that is surprising to find in this genre. Some of the things that make this game hard to love are an almost absent tutorial that only teaches you how to catch fish with 2 rods and then lets you sink or swim. An inexperienced player may get discouraged by high in-game currency costs for gear. The experience grind found in the mid-game may present too daunting of a hurdle for many players. So where will Russian Fishing 4 sit in my library? This game is far too mellow and relaxing to be the game that I'm playing when I'm pumped up and ready to pwn some noobs. I specifically didn't say boring because there's far too much to do to be boring, but not enough action to satisfy my gaming bloodlust. I can see myself playing this game late at night when I know it's not long until I'm ready for sleep, Netflix making another sprint through the office in the background. It's comforting to know that when the throwers and smurfs in Overwatch start to get to me, there's always a Russian riverbank waiting for me.